who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, Boogie like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. You're
listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Yeah, look, I'll just start off by, I'm sure, everybody at this point in time is aware that we traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Eagles. I want to say this. I want to say that was not an easy decision. I love Chauncey. He's been a big part of what we've been able to do here, specifically defensively, a big part of our organization for the last 3 years. And certainly we wish him the best. We wouldn't have done that if we didn't feel extremely confident in the group that we have. We feel like the defensive backfield was one of the deeper positions that we had, and we had a chance to acquire some more assets, and so that's the decision that we made. So, look, I don't want this to kind of be the press conference about the trade. And so I've kind of addressed that, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions in terms of, where we're going moving forward with the football team and all those kinds of things. But we're kind of focusing on, look, we got a lot of things we have to do over the next couple hours. There's a lot of guys that I have to talk to, a lot of moves that have to be made. So that's kind of where the focus is right now.
Do you have a natural feel for who goes in that slot moving forward?
Yeah. I feel like we've got several options to go into that slot. So, again, I feel like the players that we have in the building right now are perfectly capable of performing at a very high level for us.
Was the trade related to his contract situation?
You know what? I think we're just going to let that go, and it was just an opportunity for us to do what we felt like would help our team.
Dennis, I got to ask, for a player of that magnitude, do you think you got fair value?
We felt like we made the deal that we needed to make, and we felt like that was the best thing for our football team.
Do you long-term is Alante Taylor someone that you think could also play in the slot? I know that's...
Well, look, I would say he's a guy that we feel good about. He's a guy that we're excited about working with. We got to get him back out on the practice field and healthy, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I guess non-trade related. Like the depth of the team overall, as you're making the decisions on the roster, is it?
It's tough decisions. Tough decisions. There's a lot of good football players on this team, and so. Yeah, tough decisions, hard decisions, but that's certainly part of the business that we're in.
How have you seen Bradley Roby just grow in this defense since he got here last year?
Yeah, I think he's way more comfortable right now than where he was. Obviously at this time last year he wasn't even here, but I think specifically, he's done a really good job on the outside. There's been some real good competition at the corner position, and he's a guy that we feel extremely confident that we can put in the game and execute at a high level.
What's the timeline for the roster cuts? Like, is that happening now? now?
Yeah, all the moves have to be done by 3 o'clock our time today.
Right, I just meant, is it like going on now as we speak, or just kind of?
Well, not right now as we speak. It'll go on once I leave this meeting.
Well, you have assistants that have to talk to the players, I assume you're not.
Yeah, but that's the head coach's job.
If you don't mind.
Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining me for this installment of the show. Much love to the fam. Much love to the fam. Appreciate you guys for being here. This Tuesday stream is brought to you by the good family members, the YouTube Patreon, and YouTube membership family who wanted this one to be for everybody in the entire family. So shout out to those guys. Appreciate those guys for what they do, financially speaking. For the platform, it is a major help as we move forward. But shout out to the fam in this one. Saints make roster reduction 2 of 53 on this one. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Hit the like button if you hadn't had an opportunity to hit it, fam. I'm Big Q. I'm in this thing. Saints make roster reductions to 53, man. And listen, we do have some information to get to in terms of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, as the Saints were in discussions with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson since he came back. If we just look at the entirety of what was happening coming into his final year of contract, Chauncey wanted the contract. He dipped for a little bit. This was early in the off season, and then eventually decided to come back and put himself under some sort of restriction while under the covers they were working with, trying to get a deal done. According to several reports now, confirmed that the Saints and Chauncey were apart by $4 million. But commonsensically speaking, we knew the writing was on the wall when they drafted Alontae Taylor. We knew when Alontae Taylor was drafted, it was time to go. No doubt about it. The Saints wasn't going to pay Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and make him one of the highest paid nickelbacks in the game. It's just what it is. It's not going to work. So bottom line is, let's go over the news of the trade. We're going to break that down. We're going to go over that and let everybody know, if they don't know, what the Saints got back for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. But the writing was on the wall. I'm just shocked about it that they did it now as opposed to closer to the trade deadline is what I was anticipating. Alontae Taylor's here, meaning somebody got to go. So, you know, it's the business of football, and the Saints packed and shipped him to Philly. And of course, I played Dennis Allen, who didn't want to talk about the particulars of the trade. And I just got a question for Dennis Allen. Why call that press conference if you wasn't going to allow the media to question you about what you're doing there? Why call that press conference? Because at that point, there was no cuts to announce. Why are you there if you don't want to field questions about the obvious thing that you're dealing with? I don't really want to get into it, you know, such and such. I just thought it was the best of our team. Now, it's not going to cut it, you know. So anyway, we'll provide some. We'll get to the bottom of them because common sense always rules the day, but we'll cover that. And also we'll get into the 53-man cuts as well. We'll talk about guys that's still on this team that shouldn't be on this team. We're going to talk about guys that performed at a high level all through off season, into training camp, and into the preseason, who got released and should be on this team. It makes no sense that some of these guys are still on this goddamn team, to be honest with you. So, I mean, why do any of the training camp stuff if you're going to keep guys that ain't productive, that ain't hitting on shit? But anyway, we're going to get into it because right now is what it is. We know they still got some moves to make. So we'll see how it shake on the back end. But for analysis as far as right now, we're going to cover it here. So hit the like button, family. Feel free to share the show's link on your social media feed. We're going to get up into this thing. God damn it. We're going to get into it. So hit the like button, hit the share button, and share it with the family members on Facebook, Instagram. I don't care, Reddit. Let them know, fam, we live and we about to get off into this thing. So here we go. We're going to hit the share and get on up in this thing. Now, here go the article from NFL.com talking about the move to move, the Saints trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in a surprising move. And if you, like I said, if you think about it, wasn't really surprising knowing that they already had his replacement already on the team. You know, when they drafted Alontae Taylor, we said it then, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's on borrowed time. And of course, they pulled the trigger on it today. So such is the business of football. Saints trading defensive back Chauncey Gardner to the Eagles. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reported on it. And of course, we had the tweet. Where is it here? That Adam Schefter did. And I guess we'll cover this little report first. The contract extension talks broke down between Chauncey and the Saints, shifting New Orleans' focus from retaining the safety to moving him while he still carried value. Saints didn't get much. Philly sent Johnson to New Orleans. Philly sent New Orleans a 2023 fifth-round pick and a 2024 sixth-round selection in exchange for Chauncey Gardner and a 2025 seventh-round choice per Palacero. Now, Johnson frequently filled the role of nickelback in New Orleans defense in the last year, coming down from the safety position to cover slot receivers. He did a solid job, finishing 6th in targeted expected points added, the -3 among defensive backs who spent at least 50% of the coverage snaps at the slot position in 2021, and that's per next-gen stats. Chauncey also tied for the second most interception amongst those defenders with 3. Unfortunately for Chauncey, the nickel corner doesn't command the same compensation as more prominent roles. He's expected to become a full-time safety in Philadelphia, opening the door for Chauncey to play an even larger payday at some point this season. So he makes a position change from nickel to safety, which is a position that he played obviously in Florida and can play that position. That'd have been intriguing, but such is the move. Gardner is known as a fiery player who performs with plenty of passion. He also has been known to irritate players on the other side of the ball on more than one occasion. You see, the Eagles certainly won't mind that type of defender in their secondary. The acquisition of Gardner also turns the roster towards slightly younger position following the release of Jaquiski Tart and the parting of the ways of Eagles Anthony Harris. New Orleans is willing to move Johnson, also remains interesting. Every player should rightfully maximize and capitalize his value, yada, 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 yada. And this is what Dennis Allen, we said we traded Chauncey to the Eagles, and I want to say this, that was not an easy decision. We wouldn't have done it if we didn't feel extremely confident in the group we had. Instead, General Manager Howie Roseman will have an opportunity to secure Johnson for the long term. As you see Chauncey on his Twitter putting hashtag fly Eagles fly. So he jumps from the Saints to the Eagles and on a trade after a breakdown in contract talks. And once again, this is what it looks like. For the record, full terms of the deal, the Eagles receive Chauncey and the Saints' 7th-round pick in 2025. The Saints get a 5th-round pick in next year's draft and the worst of 2 of the 6 picks in 2024. Absolutely nothing for them. But the Saints send them packing. They get a 5th and a 6th-round pick for them in return. According to word on the street was they was pressed to get this deal done by the time frame. And it is what it is, you know, so we move on. So thought process on this is it was surprising that they moved him today as opposed to closer in the trade deadline. That's point I want to make, number one. Number two is we knew this was coming. We knew it. 2nd-round draft pick, safety that plays his position. We knew this was coming. I posed the question early in the offseason about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and, you know, his image and things around his image. Do the Saints are trying to separate themselves from him in some regard? Well, they say they love Chauncey Gardner, but they ain't love him enough to pay him, which they knew that when it's a possibility that we was going to lose him. That's why we took another cornerback, a defensive back that high. So peace to Chauncey, man. Hope you have success in Philadelphia. He's a fantastic player. He will perform admirably for you Philadelphia people as a safety, according to this report, saying that he will convert to safety in the Eagles defense, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will serve the Philadelphia Eagles well, like he did to Who Dat Nation. Such is the business of football, family. Such is the business of football. All right, so let's move on. Let's get to the next point here I want to get into. Besides the obvious thing about Chauncey Gardner getting chopped down and sent to or just traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, there were also the fact that the Saints had to get down on their roster. Well, the Saints did what they had to do and got down to the 53-man roster, and this is from NewOrleansSaints.com. The Saints terminated the contracts of the following 6 players. Offensive lineman Josh Andrews got the boot. John Bostic, which is a surprise to me. I thought Bostic would have been a guy that stick around with. Nope, they put John Bostic in the street. They put Taco Charlton. That's not a surprise. J.P. Holtz. That's not a surprise. Nick Martin, the only really bona fide center, backup center they had. They put him in the street. And Eric Wilson. Now, they put Eric Wilson in the street. Eric Wilson, who did nothing but perform at a high level for the Black and Gold all off season, even into the preseason making plays. And he was one of the top tacklers during the preseason for the Black and Gold. He was active. He was around the ball. Saints put him in the street. Put him in the street. All right, what's the rest of them? The Saints have waived the following 12 players. Ian Book, no surprise. DeJohn Dixon, no surprise. DeMarcus Fields, no surprise. Vincent Gray, no surprise. Chase Hansen, not really a surprise to me. Chase Hansen. Jordan Jackson in the street. Lucas Krull in the street. Nico Lalos, no surprise. But Kirk Merritt has been put in the street. Kirk Merritt, who did everything right in the preseason, not enough. I guess he just couldn't outperform Traquan Smith. I guess Kirk Merritt just could not outperform Traquan Smith. Well, I'm going to say it again. I guess Kirk Merritt could not outperform Traquan Smith for the wide receiver position. Derek Schwieger in the street. Nephi Sewell released and Rashid Shaheed also released. The Saints also placed the following player on injury reserve. Elbert Huggins was placed on the injury reserve. We expected him to go on after he was carted off in the game against the Los Angeles Phone Chargers. The following player that was placed on reserve, suspended by commissioner's list, is Quan Baker, the former 7th-round draft pick for the Black and Gold, is placed on the suspended by commissioner's list. Remember, earlier on, he got in trouble for PEDs. He's suspended for 6 games. So the Saints used that as an opportunity to stash him for at least 6 games. Beginning Wednesday, the Saints may establish a practice squad up to 16 players. The Saints will open the regular season Sunday, September the 11th, when they play the Falcons at 12 p.m. Central Time. So tomorrow, the Saints can release. They'll have, depending on which guys clear waivers and are not claimed by other people, the Saints will then add a certain amount of people to said practice squad, which holds 16 players. So how does the actual roster you want to look at and see? Well, here it is right here. As you can see, the 53-man roster reads as such. Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton are the quarterbacks. Running backs, 4 of them. Kamara, Ingram, Dwayne Washington, Tony Jones. Prentice is the fullback. Tight end is Troutman, Jawan Johnson, Taysom Hill, and Nick Vannett. The starters on the offensive line, Hurst at left tackle, Pete, McCoy, Ruiz, and Ramczyk at right tackle. Their backups, we know Pennant is on the roster. They just hadn't put him on IR yet. Kelvin Throckmorton, Landon Young, and Lewis Kidd make the team as reserve. And, of course, they definitely going to add at least one more veteran lineman or somebody via free agency or claiming off the putting a claim for people once all the smoke settles. Wide receivers, Mike Thomas, Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave. Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith, and Deontay Harty. Boy, Traquan Smith did a hell of a job for the Who Dat Nation this offseason and preseason. He was absolutely awesome. He outperformed many of the people, including Kirk Merritt. My goodness. Special teams, Gillikin, Lutz, and Wood. We know that. You go to the defensive side of things. Marcus Davenport, Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, and Cam Jordan on the defensive line. Their backups, Peyton Turner, Contavious Street, Malcolm Roach, Carl Grandison, and Passanio. Linebackers, Demario Davis and Pete Werner, along with Caden Ellis, Andrew Dowell, and Zach Bowen. Wow, Zach Bowen really performed very well for the black and gold this year. Zach Bowen was kicking ass and taking names, and he didn't give anybody an opportunity to outshine him in camp. Zach Bowen, boy, he had an excellent preseason in camp. Safeties, Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, Daniel Sorensen makes the team. P.J. Williams, J.T. Gray, I guess so. With Chauncey Gardner getting traded for a 5th and a 6th round pick, I guess the spot, only thing you get is draft picks back. It opens his spot so you can keep Sorensen. Justin Evans is also shown as in the slot. Just to let you put you on notice, this list has Justin Evans in the slot position. And of course, the cornerbacks, Paulson Adebo. This is unofficial, by the way. Paulson Adebo, Lattimore, Alante Taylor, and Bradley Roby. Okay? So there you go. So, of course, questions abound about why is Zach Bowen on his team. Questions abound about why Traquan Smith is on the team. Well, it's business as usual, isn't it? Business as usual. Let's get into this one right here. Breaking down the 53 with pitches as though we just went over most of these guys with Jameis Winston. Shout out to Ross on this one. And of course, you see the running backs, Kamara, Ingram, Dwayne Washington, Tony Jones, Prentice. And of course, we have no questions there. The tight end position, Vanette, we knew they're going to hold on to Vanette because nobody wanted to take him via trade. And the Saints not going to cut Vanette because they don't want the $3.3 million hit on the dead cap. Very obvious. Wide receivers with the Traquan Smith thing was probably the most surprising one because Traquan Smith didn't ingratiate himself. He didn't outperform Kirk Merritt. He should have been put on the street. But it is what it is. Hopefully, Kirk clears waivers, man, and we sign him, but we'll see. Hopefully he clears. We definitely think they're going to do something with the offensive line when the time comes. Ramczyk, Hurst, Penning hadn't been placed on IR yet officially, so they still got him listed on the roster. So once they eventually decide to put him on the IR, that'll open up another spot, then they can bring in somebody. So the Saints still have some work to do in that regard. And in the regard of setting the practice squad and maybe finding a veteran or two that can help out before the start of the season, which is, we still got some time on that thing. All right, so anyway, we go over the rest of the special teams as we talked about. And of course, we talk about nothing really surprising about the defensive line shook out like we thought it would. The linebackers are a bit of surprise because we knew Demario, Werner, Ellis, and Dowell. I picked them to not be there, but also I most certainly didn't think Eric Wilson deserved to be cut. Eric Wilson outperformed Dowell and Bowen and Caden Ellis, but yet he in the street. Don't get that part of the game. I really don't. And damn, Sorensen makes the team. Now, I really didn't think so. I didn't think Sorensen would make the team, but he made the damn team. So there you go. So once again, man, it's an interesting set of events, isn't it, family, that we got to look at when you talk about what the Saints were able to do in building a roster. We're still a formidable team. The Saints are still a very formidable team here in terms of who we have, the solid players there, and the starting lineups. We're still very formidable. Losing your a starter in the slot is Chauncey Gardner. The question becomes, is it Alante Taylor's job to lose, or do the Saints move somebody else there? This particular official depth chart has Justin Evans as the slot man, but we also know that Bradley Roby might have an opportunity to play there. P.J. Williams could also play there, and Alante Taylor eventually probably will become his position, depending on where he is in his injury situation. He was dealing with a hip flexor on Alante Taylor. So it depends on where he's at in his health right now, which they're being very cloudy on Alante Taylor. Now, you get rid of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, one might suspect that you would the Saints have options that they can play there if they feel they need to. PJ Williams can, like I said, Alontae Taylor, Bradley Roby, they have some guys that can probably get in there and play that position. But I want to see what's happening with Alontae Taylor. We hadn't really got a update on him, besides we knew he was dealing with that hip flexor, which is that ain't that hip flex ain't no joke. So, you know, we'll see where he is as we get closer and closer to regular season. I'm so glad we finally getting into the regular season, because they're required by Wednesday of every week in the regular season to provide an injury list on these players. So who knows what other players are dinked up, you know, right now, because they weren't forcing them to provide any injury reports on these guys. So thank goodness by next Wednesday, not this, you know, well, not, of course, tomorrow's Wednesday, but the Wednesday after this Wednesday, the Saints should have an official injury report on what's going on. And hopefully Alontae Taylor will be fine, man. So, you know, we'll see how it all shakes moving forward. So let's do a brief recap, and then we'll take Q&A from the family as well. And the big news of the day, obviously, among the Saints chopping down to 53 was the trade that sent Chauncey Gardner packing to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 5th and a 6th round pick. And if Dennis Allen was sitting in front of me, I would ask him, why the Eagles? Why the Eagles? That's number one. And why so little for the pick? And I think the reason why he doesn't want to answer any questions is because he knows it's a bullshit trade. You could have got it don't take much to figure it out, do it. I'm not going to take questions on. I really don't want to talk about, well, what you sitting up here for? You want to talk about the weather? What you doing sitting up here for then? You call this press conference, man. What you here for? You just traded your starting slot, man. You don't want me to ask you, well, we don't want to get into it. We just thought we did the best for the team. Really? A 5th round pick and a 6th round pick in 23 and 24 is the best you can do? And why the Eagles? Couldn't you send them to the AFC? I won't get into it. But anyway, outside of that, then of course this is the breakdown of your depth chart. Three players that I'm really surprised that didn't make the team, 2 of which is Kirk Merritt and Eric Wilson. Those are the 2 guys I'm really surprised that did not make this team. Those guys did everything that you can ask a football player to do. They outperformed guys ahead of them. They made it, I mean, wasn't even close. They should have made the team. So that's unfortunate that Eric Wilson didn't make the team, because he looked really good in that Saints defense. I also really like Kirk Merritt. I think he was versatile. I'm really surprised there. But it's not like you can settle on that and it makes sense. You can feel good about it, knowing that it was a good competition. And you can see where they made a decision. They're like, okay, I like, you know, it was a good competition, but, you know, I'm going to go with this guy. I'm like, okay, yeah, they was running neck and neck. So I guess it can go one way or the other. You get me? But there ain't no one way or the other with Kirk Merritt versus no Traquan Smith. You can miss me with that BS. There was no one way or the other with Traquan Smith versus There ain't no one way or the other. There's none. Traquan Smith needs to be off this team, just like White was supposed to be off this team last year. He needs to be out of here. When guys outperform guys, get their asses out of here. Get them out of here. And just like you had Eric Wilson that did his thing, he outperformed guys ahead of him. 3 guys that was ahead of him. But what's the purpose of doing this if you're going to just say, nah, we're going to stay with this, even though the guy outperformed the guy vastly? It don't make any sense. You might as well just skip all that shit and pick them straight off the bat if you're going to do it like that. So anyway, man, it's a disservice, because you sit up here, you scout these men, and then you sit up here and turn around when this guy performing his ass off, doing everything he's supposed to do, and then you put him in the street. Well, thank you for your service. We're going to go ahead on and keep rocking with Andrew Dowell. He's a special teams guy. We love what he do. Hey, don't get me wrong. You was out there busting your ass. And even if something happened to Pete Werner, who gets nicked up from time to time, we feel good about running Andrew Dowell or Caden Ellis or it's just, yeah, it's all right. All right. So anyway, that's what it is, fam. And that's some of the stuff that I got problems with. But outside of that, we're going to see they still got moves to make. They still got other things that they got to do between tomorrow. They got to fill up that 16 spot for the practice squad. and perhaps they're looking at finding somebody that definitely they got a spot that they can look at for a backup offensive lineman. Perhaps they might see a defensive back out there they like. Perhaps they might see a linebacker out there that they like better than Eric Wilson that they might be fish shading in on. So we'll see what time it is by tomorrow and all the moves. But in terms of your team being a full team with Jameis and Elvin and Jarvis and Mike Thomas and Chris Olave and all those guys together, offense is intact. We might need a few pieces on defense to back up that thing with the linebackers if something happens there. But outside of that, listen, let me tell you something. There ain't no reason for Zach Bowen still being on this team. There is no reason for Zach Bowen to be on this team. There is no reason for Zach Bowen to be on this team and the guy severely outplayed him. There's no reason for no justification for such a pick. None at all. So, and you keep him here, even though you have a linebacker that fits your system hand to glove. You can't find, and you being Dennis Allen, have not, and you were the defensive coordinator for this team under top of over Bowen. You have not found a spot for Bowen. So what you holding on for him to? What you doing? You got Eric Wilson that fits the team perfectly. Why are you still holding on to Zach Bowen? Who you can't find a role for? It's just this is some BS here, man. Kirk Merritt not making the team, and for Traquan Smith, and he's sitting up there, and then you got Eric Wilson gone, and they got Bowen sitting up there. Man, you can't justify that shit, man. Come on. All right, so anyway, man, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me bounce it back to the man. But that's my calls on it, man. Where you watch stuff happen, and then you say you go with this guy. I can understand if it's a closer competition. But if that guy beating the hell out of this guy, what you keeping that other guy for? What does Traquan Smith got on the Saints organization that they can't turn him loose? What you got, Traquan? Good grief, man. Damn. But anyway, man, the defense still intact, and they obviously got a few more moves to make before the start of the season. So we're gonna just be observing. But as far as right now is concerned, Eric Wilson should be on this team, and so is Kurt Merritt. There should be there's no justification for putting those guys in the street. Unless they're injured, then that's the only justification. You say, okay, we got to put them in the street because we need healthy players. Is Eric Wilson hurt? Is Kurt Merritt hurt? Are they hurt? Anyway, let's hear from the family members, man. Throw in the chat how y'all feel about it. Ghost187, how do we keep Bowen and not keep Eric Wilson? I really drove behind that. Yeah, you should be drove behind that because that don't make no sense. It don't make no sense for you. Bowen didn't do a damn thing all off season. No disrespect to Zach Bowen, man. He was hurt, banged up. But listen, if you got a guy like Eric Wilson and he was super cheap, his contract was cheaper than Quan Alexander's contract. He was playing like Quan played, like we came in and acclimated perfectly to the defense. He was a really good teammate. He had a lot of energy. And yes, that guy should have made the team because he was the second best linebacker, you know, behind Demario Davis. He outperformed everybody, not named Demario Davis. So how you justify going to him, Dennis Allen, and saying, well, we're going to put you in the street. We're going to keep Zach Bowen. We're going to keep Zach Bowen, man, over you, Eric Wilson. Don't make any sense, man. Text ain't say Peyton told him to keep Bowen. Man, listen, Zach Bowen have skill. He has some abilities, but the Saints have not figured out how to incorporate Zach Bowen in the defense. This is his last year on his contract, and you had a guy that perfectly fits your defense who can play inside and do the things, cover everything. So we'll see how it shakes, man. I don't agree on that shit. I don't agree on those moves, those couple of moves. All the other stuff we knew it was coming, including eventually the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. All right, so shout out to the fam. Yeah, Big Sean, we got rid of Merritt too. Yeah, you got rid of Merritt. Yeah, but listen, I don't want none of you great Saint think tank people and the Who Dat Nation people out there to for one damn minute to be sorry for Kirk Merritt because we got Traquan Smith. And Traquan Smith is going to show up and have a great year. Zach Bowen is going to show up and have a great year. I'm trolling y'all, man, because it don't make any sense to me. Tenu Shet, thank you, fam. He says, man, you younger at the linebacker position. He says, man, you get younger at the linebacker position rather than vets. Yeah, but you get younger at the position. But, you know, you also have to look at style and fit. Yes, and you'll be hard-pressed to come up with reasons why Traquan and Zach Bowen should still be members of this 2022 rendition of the Black and Gold. You'll be hard-pressed to find that. You got to do something to stay on the team. All right, so we'll see how it all plays, man. It's just, I love it, man. I love it. Chris McCann says practice squad chances, Merritt and Hansen and Book. Yeah, they are, bro. I mean, Book, I think good chances. Book is there. Hansen's there. Kirk Merritt did a lot. I hope he's there. He might get claimed. I know Aesop Winston was claimed by the Browns, but he was released. So Aesop Winston is back out there too. So maybe the Saints, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how it all folds. But they release these guys. Once they clear waivers, then we'll see if they can add them to the practice squad as well. So this is a part of the game where, you know, you try to make sense of what they're doing, and it don't make no sense to have Zach Bowen and Traquan Smith still on this team, and none of them did a damn thing to deserve it. Youngblood said Eric Wilson could have started next to Demario David. Well, Werner's still injured. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. But let me hit you with this one. Caden Ellis is gonna be there. Caden Ellis did all right, right? It makes no sense to me, man. Eric Wilson did everything he was supposed to do. He's a perfect fit. He's a perfect fit. So maybe he clears waiver and they add him on the practice squad. I don't know, fam. I don't know what the rationale on those moves were. The rest of the moves we understood. I understand the Chauncey Gardner thing, even though I don't agree with what they got for him. I knew eventually the Saints was going to move on from Chauncey because Alontae Taylor's here, you know. But I also realized, you know, that, you know, they were going to get beyond Chauncey. That's not really a thing to me, you know, with Alontae Taylor. But the moves, like with some of these moves, you know, after the roster reduction, it don't seem like it makes sense to me. All right. Paper Chaser, what's happening, fam? So we have to keep finalizing talent, Big Q. We're giving, should have waited NFL catches up quick. Yeah, but how, yeah, I get you on that. But how does that apply to Traquan Smith and Zach Bowen? I got you there. How does that apply? How does that apply? You hear me? I hear you what you got to adjust and change and move on. I get you. I got you. But I got one question for you. How does that apply to Traquan Smith and Zach Bowen? You tell me that one. I got you there. You know, you see? It's all right. All right. Shout out to the fam, man. It's 300 plus of y'all in here. Hit the like button, family, if you had an opportunity to hit the like button. Feel free to hit the hell out the like button. All right. No problem, Chris. Shout out to you and Go Tigers, baby. Shout out. All right. Yeah, Saint for Life, Eric Wilson is a starter, played damn good. You'd be hard pressed to come up with rationale for any of this stuff. It's just listen, let's just preference it like this in my account for it. The 53-man roster, I knew the Saints was going to move on from Chauncey. I was thinking more closer around the trade deadline before they make a move on him because I didn't expect them to kind of pay him and make him the money. With Alontae Taylor here, that don't make any sense. There's nowhere to go. You gave Laddie Daddy his money. Paulson Adebo is entering the second year of a rookie contract. Alontae Taylor just got his deal. He held out for it. He was the last one to sign. The Saints took care of him. The Saints just gave 3-year deals to Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu in your secondary. They reworked Roby's deal. You know, they reworked Roby's deal, right? Remember that? So with that being said, well, somebody gonna lose out. That's how it is. And we already know the man replacement was here. So chances are at some point they was gonna get beyond him. So that's not really the thing. The thing is, for me, outside of that was a potential starter in Eric Wilson getting the boot, and a guy like Kirk Merritt, who held a lot of depth for you, getting the boot, and Traquan Smith, who dropping passes and all this other stuff, still on the team. See, that kind of stuff don't make no sense. That's why people get pissy with these coaches, because you're supposed to do the right thing. All right, shout out to you, brother Thomas. He says, Q, after the 53 cut down, are we better or took a slight step back? No, I don't think. The thing is to listen. The big question that people going to have to get beyond, we know Chauncey's gone. He left the hole there. He left the hole at the slot position. Who covers it? Well, Q, that's Alontae Taylor. Let's find out, is Alontae Taylor healthy? Will he be ready to go in week 1? Bradley Roby's the obvious option. Some people said Justin Evans, PJ Williams. Even though I like PJ as a safety, I do not want PJ Williams covering nobody. You see what I'm saying? He's done better, you know, and have kind of got his game together. But really, I would prefer to have somebody else like that. So it's supposed to be Alontae Taylor's position with Chauncey gone, but I don't know if the man healthy to step in there right now. So that is the thing with him going and getting traded to the Eagles. Who plays the slot is the question that should be next. Who's the slot man now? Tyrann Mathieu said he'll throw his hand in there if he need him to play that. Now, I'm pretty sure he'll play around the line, but you got your own position, Tyrann. Honey Badger, Marcus May, they got their own position. So that slot position is going to have to be occupied by somebody, and they're going to have to get in there very fast. You know, you got a week and a half before the Falcons game. So it might, more than likely, it probably would be a guy like Roby that will probably occupy the position. I don't know what's happening with Alontae Taylor. He had that hip flexor, and they've been really quiet on him. Now, he did come out and was working on the side, but that's still something we have to wait and see. So with him going to Eagles, with Chauncey going to the Eagles, who's your slot man? That's the number one question. Now, in terms of the Traquan Smith and the Zach Bowen non-moves, and then putting Eric Wilson and Kirk Merritt in the street, does it weaken you as a team? No, well, it yes and no. And from a starter perspective, you straight. As far as the starters go, you straight. Now, all you need is these are depth pieces. In case of injury, you got a guy like this that can come in and help you with the game. That's those two things serve to your depth region. So overall, when you consider depth along with the starters, it do kind of step you back a bit, because the two guys they kept there is not, or might know more than the guys that you put in the street, but they're not showing that on the field. So from a standpoint of starters, you straight. Offensively, special teams, but defense, you got to find out who your slot corner is. Who's the slot man? Who's going to be the slot man? That's the next question there that they'll have to figure out. Rich says, Q, this is how you F up a good team. I really think we're being suckered into thinking beer is better than 820. No. Let's not get it twisted here. Let's not get it twisted here. I'm not, thank you for your super chat, bro. Listen, let's not get it twisted here. Let's get it understood. That what the Saints are doing here, I understand what they're doing. Insofar as the Chauncey Gardner thing, I don't understand why Kirk Merritt and Eric Wilson is not on this team. That's the two things that I have, because both of those players were solid and far beyond the rest. Not named the guys, the starters that were ahead of them. When you was talking about wide receivers, Kirk Merritt outperformed all the wide receivers not named Mike Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, and to a degree, he was up there with, at one point, he was outperforming Deontay Harty. He outperformed Callaway. He outperformed Dixon. He outperformed definitely Traquan Smith. Hell, Harty and Dixon outperformed Traquan Smith. You know, this the only thing I can come up with is the Saints stuck with these guys for familiarity. It's the same thing they did with Nick Vannett. They couldn't find somebody to take his sorry ass, so they said, "Nah, we're gonna just hold on to him, and perhaps we can hit when his contract run out. We'll just put him in the street. We don't want to release him and cut him because of $3.3 million in dead cap money." Which don't even make sense to me why that isn't there. But outside of that, that's the questions that I have. Now, in terms of you still competing, you straight. You just got to find out now. Thank you, Wynetta. Shout out to Wyetta Adams for hitting that subscribe button. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Much love to you. Appreciate you, Queen. You still straight. Let's not get this twisted here. The Saints are still straight. You still good. That's not we talk when I'm talking about Eric Wilson and Kirk Merritt, I'm talking about from a depth perspective, because if injuries happen, those young guys can come in and they can help you solidify things while that is going on from a depth perspective. Now, in terms of you overall as a starting team on the field, the Saints are straight. You just got to find out who your slot man is now. That's it is. Now, if it's Roby until Alontae Taylor gets right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you straight. You still straight. Another component too to add about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson leaving is his intensity and passion. Who will carry that passion and intensity? We still got the Honey Badgers, a very passionate guy. Marcus May is still a passionate guy. But that's the question they ask is Q. What about Gardner's passion that he brought back there? Will that be missed? I'm pretty sure guys are missing, but the Saints are not devoid of passion. If anything, we got way more passion than what we need. You get me? So we gonna miss him because of his relationship to the team. But in interest of, there are a lot of passionate guys there. Tyron's passionate. Marcus May's real passionate if you watch his game. And you're going to have guys that's going to bring it. Alontae Taylor is kind of reserved right now. But watch when you see him get going. He got a little something with him too. So like I said, man, the Saints are not devoid of passion. They're not devoid of intelligence. Chauncey's a great player, but the Saints is a great defense. They can absorb his loss and move on and until we get Alontae on board or whoever the slot guy is going to be. That's the question moving forward is who's the slot man? Because we got to find that out quick because we got to get up here to Atlanta in a little bit to take on the Falcons and then so on and so forth. So you still straight. You still straight. So don't get it twisted on that, my brother. Thank you for the chat. Coach Tab says Ross explained today that after they out some people on our Kirk Merritt and Wilson probably be brought back if they clear. Yeah, I know with Coach Tab when they do that, they're hoping that Merritt and Wilson clear waivers to be on the end up on the practice squad. Yeah, I get that part of the game, but you know, if you think about it, why are we doing that to them? Did they just you know, if it's all about performance and what you did and Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? None of those, you know, they can't explain why we got to cut them and then hope to put them on the practice squad when they the ones that don't need to practice. They don't need to practice. They performed. You put Bond and Traquan Smith on the practice squad. I guarantee you cut both of them. Nobody picking them dudes up. They'll end up on the practice squad. Merritt and Wilson played well. They don't need to be on the practice squad. They need to be on the active roster. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. But that's what they're hoping for. But hopefully that be the case. Kirk Merritt, that was not a good cut, man. That wasn't a good cut. It wasn't. You hear me? All right, shout out. All right, so let me see. Total Truth Todd says the Big Easy had to get something for Johnson. Now the Taylor pick draft night is clear. Oh yeah, Lattimore 15 to 20 million. Adebo up 2 years. Follow the money. It makes sense. Exactly. We just, I just mentioned that earlier. I don't know if you just popped in. But I was making reference to the monetary moves, giving a brief synopsis of the moves that we made in the secondary. Two defensive backs in May and Matthews signed for 3 years apiece. 3 for Tyron, 3 for Marcus May. The extension on Lattimore. Adebo in his second year. The drafting of Alontae Taylor. And they paid Alontae Taylor. He was the last one to get traded. Remember, he held out. And until he got his money, he wanted a little bit more than what you would pay him. And the Saints said, okay, I will give you that. So we knew eventually you ain't going to be able to pay all of them. You paid Laddie Daddy, you just signed 2 safeties and they ain't break the bank with them. They were pretty good deals, pretty solid deals cap-wise for the black and gold. But at the same time, you knew that, man, Chauncey was going to be the odd man out because they drafted his replacement on draft night. That's why Chauncey came in there. Remember I showed y'all that video? He came in there talking like that. He was already saucy. He was upset at then. You could tell. And I pinpointed and pointed it out to the fan. I see y'all see Chauncey in his feelings. When he was sitting up there ranting to the media about, oh, they don't want to have a contract. I knew it was when he forced them to the table like that. I was like, yeah, we're going to see how the Saints respond to you forcing them to the table. Well, guess what happened? The Saints say, no, you're going to get traded out of here. See, remember that I asked that question? That what happens? The Saints you still have 1 year left on your deal. We still expect you to honor that deal. You still work for us. You still got 1 year left on your contract. We still expect you to come here and handle your business. But Chauncey said, no, I ain't doing that. I'm going to hang out here. I ain't going to camp. Remember that? And while that was happening, Alontae Taylor was getting his hustle on at the slot position. Roby seeing him a little action there. You see? And then when he finally decided to come back, the Saints say, okay, we're going to talk. We didn't really want to talk about it. We was going to talk about it later, but you forced us to the table. And when he forced them to the table, and then, you know, they was talking, the Saints said, listen, this is what we're going to give you. We don't want to do that. And they were $4 million apart, according to several reports. And the Saints said, you know what? Let's get them out of here. Let's trade them up out of here. And I asked that question. I said, how the Saints are going to respond to somebody forcing them to the table. Remember I asked y'all that? Put one in the chat if y'all remember me asking y'all that. Huh? How they going to respond to a demand when they didn't want to have a contract extension talk right there because they were building the team? How were they going to respond to that? And look how they responded. They said, this is what we're going to give you. And then he said, well, $4 million apart, man, let's trade this guy out of here. And see, really the disrespectful part about it is the Saints sent that boy to Philadelphia, man. The Saints could have sent that boy to the AFC somewhere. They sent that boy to Philadelphia, man. The Saints not even scared of that boy, man. Think about this shit. You got 30-something teams in the NFL. You picked the Philadelphia Eagles, who you've been playing on your schedule the last several years, the Eagles. You packed and shipped them to an NFC team that you've been playing the last several years. Man, the Saints not scared of him, man. Think about that shit. If you was really afraid of somebody, you would pack and ship their ass to the AFC somewhere. You would pack, right? Think about that. I'm like, man, why Philadelphia? Why Philadelphia, huh? Because they ain't worried. But that's what I said, man. I said, listen, the Saints are not, we're going to see how they respond because they already feel like you violating anyway. You under contract. We paying you to be here. And when he forced him to the table, I said, yeah, let's see how that ain't a good thing. The Saints, they ain't going to respond in kind with that. And they traded them. They said, no, we're going to give you this. And then they shipped his ass up out of here. But let it be in the record that the Saints tried to negotiate with good faith with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. But he wanted top-notch nickelback money. And like the article astutely mentioned, that the nickelback, even though it's a position that is growing in the NFL, that a nickelback like that, the money that he was looking for, the Saints wasn't willing to pay it. Plus, they had his replacement. And then when you talk about deals, who had the leverage in the situation? The Saints was in control of the situation the whole damn time. When they took Alontae Taylor, they knew they was going to disconnect from Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at some point. My only thing is, couldn't you get something a little bit more than a 5th and a 6th round pick? Couldn't you got a 4th round or a 3rd rounder? But anyway, what's done is dead. And I'm telling you, man, they sent him to the Eagles. And I'm like, damn, they sent that boy to the Eagle. They ain't afraid of him. Goddamn. Anyway, man, listen, man. Let me get talks from the family member. Yeah, Chris said, why Philly exactly, Q? Yeah, I know, bro. Yeah, Randy says Loomis will bundle late round picks in future drafts and move up to grab a talent in the 3rd round. It's the way they do. Thank you, bro. Shout out to you. Paper chasing. What's up, fam? They say, Big Q, I seen this Eagles podcast, and they said that GM turned a 7th round pick into a player and got a 6th and 5th, then got Chauncey. That means he flipped the yeah, I know. They're gonna come with the Howie Roseman fleeced Mickey Loomis. They're gonna say that the Eagles have been fleecing the Saints out of picks. They're gonna say that. They're gonna come with that line. The truth is the Saints could have got a lot more for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson if they really wanted it. They really could. But, you know, like I said, they already feel like they got their guy already on the team. And I said that, I was like, man, and people don't think this is a thing, but I say this, man, optics mean a lot of stuff. When you see like the stuff around the player, like the team, they build up their brand. It's a brand that they have. And when you see stuff going on and guys, like they pay attention to that, man. It's like if you are a person, you trying to get a job somewhere and you got a social media post and you trying to get a job somewhere, you know them people gonna go look at your social media. You know that? And even though it ain't got nothing to do with the job, you could be fully qualified for the job. But if you applying somewhere, and most jobs do this, they go and check your social media and see what you posting. Now, they really not supposed to do it because they ain't got nothing to do with your qualifications. But they do that, don't they? Don't they? Well, what you posting, I'm not saying he doing anything posting, but he got rap stuff right here and he talk about selling. How you talking about selling dope and you're an NFL player, man? I mean, this is getting preposterous, man. We should. I mean, but listen, you can rap about whatever you want. You can rap about being an astronaut on the moon or renting a house in hell. You can do whatever you want to talk about. But listen, they're going to pay attention to all that, and they're going to see whether or not they want to connect to that brand or not. They look all around them. And I told DC this. I said, DC, you know what? Alontae Taylor is a lot slicker and cleaner image than a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson if you look around the overall optics in the matrix, because I know how they look at stuff. I know how they look at stuff. So when they drafted that kid, I said, Chauncey gone, man. It's only a matter of time. But, man, I told you, them people look at all that, man, when you get hired. They ain't supposed to, but that's what they do. Anyway, TD says, we'll see who flees too when we play. Remember, the Eagles have been beating the Saints the last couple of times, bro, because the Saints have had difficulties with mobile quarterbacks. Guys that have the ability to extend the play. The Saints have an issue. They've been having issues stopping that style of quarterback. And the Eagles, is Jalen Hurts gets outside the pocket and he does his most harm. You got to contain Hurts in the pocket. You got to contain him and make him beat you from the pocket. Contain him and then pressurize that pocket and collapse on top of him. That's how you do it. But he leaks out and create plays upfield. And that's how they was able to do it. Plus they had him, not to take nothing away from him, they had a good running attack when they played the Saints. They ran the ball very well against the Saints, you know, to extend out and keep things going. So the Eagles have been beating the Saints since Jalen Hurts got there. You know, that's not a what's the word I'm searching for? That's not chance, by the way. You know, it's the reason why that's happening. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. All right, Demetrius says my social media ain't nothing but Bible. Yeah, but that might mean something if you go get a job somewhere, Demetrius, and you go there and the guy you trying to get hired on, he don't like the Bible. Oh, this guy on here with all this old stuff. Oh, no, we can't have that around here. That's why I'm saying you never know, man. You know how it is, man. Some people got hell in them, man. Some people got hell in them, bro. Saint for life. So unfortunately, Saints rep isn't good with trades. They gave up a lot, but don't get good in return value. Therein is just the truth. Now, listen, we talk about Deshaun Payton, the draft pick, right? To move up to, what was it? The draft picks to give up the picks. That was affiliated with Chris Olave, right? Correct? Right? Check. And then people say, damn, we gave all that up to get Chris Olave, who Michael Thomas won't. Why we ain't just take, what's his name, or whoever was there? Well, Dennis Allen knew that Michael Thomas wanted Chris Olave. He got Chris Olave for the picks, first rounders. The issue is people, when the Saints did that, and I was telling people what they're not telling you, is that the Saints know that they're going to get a lot of first round picks, second round picks back when they move Peyton. And I kept telling people, hey, don't pay attention to that. Just understand there's a such thing as the Peyton card, the Sean Payton card, which is when the Saints trade Peyton to where all these other teams that he wants to go to, whomever it is, when they finally trade Sean Payton away, then they'll recoup some of those picks. They'll recoup first round picks, second round picks. If you look at the trade that's situated around Chucky, when he was traded from the Raiders to the Buccaneers, they gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and $8 million in cash for Chucky, who hadn't won a Super Bowl yet. He went to Tampa Bay and won the Super Bowl that same year. But prior to that, they gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and $8 million for Gruden, and Gruden hadn't even won a Super Bowl yet. Yeah, you see it? So that's the floor in which we work. So if you use that deal based on that, and we're looking at Sean Payton as a Super Bowl winning coach with, an offensive juggernaut who can put some stuff together. Yeah, they're gonna be some bidding wars for Sean Payton services. That's how you recoup your picks. So that's why the Saints were being so free with these draft picks and moving around, because they know they're gonna recruit some of this stuff on the back end. So that's why I'd be cautioning people. Don't be paying attention to none of that. Just wait to how it all plays out once the Payton card is played. Just keep that in the Great Saint Collective. What's up, T Mama? Shout out to you, Queen. Good to see you. Ramsey, what's up, fam? Says, when can we bring back some of the players we cut if they're still available? You got to wait for them to clear waivers, my friend. And once they clear waivers, then you can be able to kind of add them to your practice squad. So, usually they got guys that somebody might claim. Somebody might see, like what happened with Aesop Winston when the Saints released Aesop Winston. Cleveland put the claim in for him when they did it several weeks ago, and Aesop was then claimed by the Browns, and he was on their team now. So it depends, if they're not claimed. If they are not claimed, then you can claim them and you can bring them back to your squad. So that's why you don't put productive players like Kirk Merritt on the street or Eric Wilson on the street, because the people know who've been watching them know how productive these guys were, and that they didn't get cut because they weren't any good. They got cut because it was a dumbass move. That's they didn't do anything wrong. Let's just get that straight. Usually you get cut because, you just wasn't good enough versus the other guys on the roster ahead of you. That is simply not the case at all. With Kirk Merritt outperforming at least Traquan Smith, he outperformed to a degree Marquez Callaway. He outperformed him. And Eric Wilson outperformed everybody not named Demario Davis. He did. So, that's something we just got to live with for right now and hope that both those guys clear waivers so we can add them to the team. So hopefully, man. Hopefully. So we'll see. All right. TD says we traded up for Ram, and AK, that worked out pretty good. That's right. Eugene said the Payton trade came comp factor is what people who talk about Roseman fleecing the Saints don't consider. We need an elite young wide receiver and offensive line now. We knew we had those picks coming. Long range thinking, indeed, Fro. Yes, long thinking. Yeah, that's playing chess, not checkers. And people say, oh, they're giving up all their draft capital. No! You still got the Payton card. You're going to get 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders. You might get a third rounder. You might get some more money in the deal for Sean Payton. You're going to have people, at least 6 teams, that's going to be competing for his services, which means that their compensation will be high for Payton. They're going to give up multiple picks. They might give up a player, throw a player in there that can impact the team in a positive way. You see? So, like I said, if you think about adding that into the factor, then you can understand why we thinking like what we thinking at the Great Saint Think Tank. You can get it. But they don't tell you that, and when you read the reports, they just omit all of that. They're like, oh, the Eagles fleeced the Saints. No, they didn't. The Saints did that because they handled the business with Penn, and like you said, they got a guy that's going to work it. They got a fantastic first. This guy, Olave, is a picture-perfect wide receiver for the Who Dat Nation. Works hand to glove with Mike Thomas. He's awesome. Jarvis Landry is there. So it was special on so many levels. Now watch when they get together, when the Eagles and the Saints play. Not just this year, but over the next several years, you're going to see what sports really look like. You're going to really see. All right. Dennis says, I'm glad Dennis nor Mickey cannot trade you. Cute. Yeah, Demi, I'm not going nowhere, baby.
Let me tell you something, Demi. Listen, I didn't want to trade Eric Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to cut him, Yeah, well, see, I kind of talked to Dennis. Dennis ran that past me. I said, Dennis, I don't know if I want to do that. I think at some point, you got to be able to, see these guys and, and they work their butts off, man. They really do, I just thought, Eric Wilson, man, he played his butt off, man, and Kirk Merritt, man, he's from Destrehan, man. I once ate at a restaurant down there that was pretty good, come to think about it, But I mean, but the thing about it is, you know, it's in his hands. So, you know, if you guys see me out on the road, talk to Dennis. Talk to Dennis. All right, shout out, brother Prime. He says Alante Taylor 4.36 while CD's 4.48. He got to get there, bro. He does have the closing speed. He hit like a son of a gun, but he got to get healthy and he got to get in that position. And it's still big shoes for him to fill, but I'm looking forward to Alante Taylor stepping into that the position eventually, man. So shout out. Good to see Mickey, huh? Family Mickey made an appearance, man. Dropped some game on that, man. So if y'all see Mickey out on the street, bro, don't fuss at Mickey. Talk to Dennis. That's what he gonna tell your ass. Terrence says some of the veterans the Saints released that don't have to go through waivers are ideal candidates to be back in a couple of days. Martin, Wilson, Bostic could potentially go that route among others. Thank you, Terrence. All right, Terrio, what's up, fam? So that was the going price for CJ. CJ, unfortunately. Yeah. Chris says someone sent this Q channel and Dennis clip to ESPN. Yeah, Mickey, man. I've been doing, Mickey, man, is a funny dude, man. I've been listening to Mickey Loomis for years. And then one day, family, it just clicked. I ain't gonna lie to you. One day it just clicked. I listened to you. And sooner or later, it's gonna happen with Dennis Allen. You know, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna get him. Sean Payton was a guy that at one time I tried the Sean Payton, but the Dennis just flows, man. The Mickey just flows. You know, his cadences, he kind of stops and shit. He winds up. You know, he does that to kind of buy himself some time to think. Yeah. You know, that's how you do. All right, so shout out to the fam, man. Zach says, how many years left on Peyton's contract? Well, he got 1 year left on this deal that the Saints have to move him. And the Saints would have to move him within that time frame. Now, listen, if the Saints don't move him within that time frame to get compensation for him and they let that expire, that's on them, man. That'll be one of the baddest, ridiculous moves ever. So at some point during this season, the Saints are going to have discussions to trade Sean Payton while they still got him under contract. Rich says, thank you, Rich. Shout out to you, bro. He says, hold on. He says CJ to the Eagles was the last piece to that trade. Thank you, Rich. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you. All right. Let's see who else we got. Randy says Saints apparently feel confident about Alante Taylor's health. I would most certainly hope so. I remember he had like I said before, he had the hip flexor, which is tough. But then he was toward the going into some of these games, the last preseason game, the practice leading up to the preseason games, he was doing side work. So the Saints just could simply have been playing it safe and keeping Alante Taylor out of contact action and buying him more time to heal up, just like they did with James Hurst. We know that James Hurst has an injury issue. He's on the unofficial depth chart on the Saints website with a Q next to his name here. Questionable. He was dealing with, he got kind of nicked up and stuff, but they expected him to be there. So we'll see where Alante Taylor is as well. So hopefully he'll be ready, man. I would love to see him eventually, if that's what would be the situation, because the Saints can go in a more veteran route. They could put Roby there, or they can decide to go put PJ there for a little bit. The unofficial depth chart that I showed had put Justin Evans in that slot role. So we'll see. Rainey says Saints releasing the in-book. He's already released, bro. The Saints released the in-book. Yes, they did. All right. Chris says, Q, you a black Woody Allen. Is that how Woody Allen? I think he does sound like that a little bit, don't he? DeWright says, Q, don't they have to pay CD next year? The Eagles do, but there was a tweet from Roseman. Well, actually, one of the insiders for the Philadelphia Eagles was saying that Roseman was saying that if he felt that would have been an issue, he wouldn't have traded for him. So the Eagles are picking him up. They're going to have to pay Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and they feel good about having to pay him and give him the kind of money that he wants, but not as a nickel guy, not as a nickel. They're going to move Chauncey to safety, according to the reports that the Eagles are doing. They're converting him to a safety, not a nickelback. So he ain't going to Philly to be a nickelback. He's going to be a starting safety there.
And there is where he'll get his money. He'll get more money than what he was looking for from the Saints. So that's some of the stuff that they was dropping too, just in case you ain't heard that, bro. 985 say, I thought it was 2 years. He got, well, I'm going to see. I think he got a year this year and next year. I think you're right. I'm sorry, bro. What did I say, 1 year? Yeah, this year. And I think he got this year and I think next year on his. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I'm going to pull it up before I get off of here. All right. Let me go through some few things. Big Bull Hobby says, BQ says CG. Big Q said Chauncey been doing too much. He ain't doing too much now. He got up out of there, man. He tried to force their hand. And like I said, I was saying, man, I don't know, that might not be a good thing. And the Saints just put their foot in the ground and got him up out of here. All right, Demi says, I would like to hear Reverend Saint right about now. Need some encouraging words. Mickey ain't do it for you, Demi? Mickey ain't do it for you? Yeah, baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, let me tell you something, baby, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, baby, let me tell you something, baby, listen. That baby, listen, that man, baby, he was crazy, baby. Baby, he was wild, he was a wild man, baby. He was out there, baby, talking about their mamas, baby. I know. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, back in 1972, baby, let me tell you something, baby. I had a spearmint green Cadillac, baby. Let me tell you something. And I remember, baby, they had this friend of mine, baby. He talked really fast, baby. Baby, he talked really fast, baby. Baby, he talked really fast, baby. And I didn't know what he was saying, baby. But baby, he made it they always wanted to fight him, baby. Baby, and I said, baby, what you saying like that, baby? To make these people want to fight you like that, baby. What's going on, baby? Baby, what's happening with you, baby? I ain't understand, baby. Baby, so I went up close to him, baby, one day just to listen to what he was saying, baby. Baby, he was talking about their mamas, baby. Baby, you heard me, baby. Baby, he was talking about their mamas, baby. Baby, he was talking about they girlfriends, baby. Baby, he was even saying something about their kids being cross-eyed, baby. I said, what? Baby, what is you doing, baby? Baby, let me tell you something, baby. I'm old school gangster, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, you're not gonna do this, baby. You're not gonna be talking about the women, baby. You're not gonna be talking, baby, about the mamas, baby. You ain't gonna be talking about the children saying they cross-eyed, baby. You're not gonna be doing that, baby. Baby, that day, baby, I got rid of them, baby. I stopped them from hanging around with me, baby. I stopped them, baby. I'm telling you, baby, that was bad, baby. And after that, baby, everything was good, baby. You hear me, baby? So the moral of the story, baby, is this, baby. Baby, sometimes, baby, people got to go somewhere to find themselves, baby. Baby, that's all right, baby. But let me tell you something, baby. At the end of the day, baby, we're going to be fine, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. Baby, we're going to be all right, baby. We're going to be all right, baby. Who that, baby? Who that? All right, that's Reverend Saint, family, hollering at in that joint. You heard me? That was a new story, fam. I ain't know the Reverend. You know, I ain't know about that one, baby. But, you know, he got a story for everything, baby. So you know how that go. All right. Oh, man. I got to make y'all laugh a little bit, man. I got to make y'all laugh. Y'all kind of still sad about Chauncey, man. I got to make y'all laugh, man. Y'all let that go, man. We're going to be all right, baby. Baby, we're going to be all right, baby. Baby, we're going to do like this. Put your hand like this, baby, and make a fist, baby. Say, we're going to be all right, baby. Baby, we're going to be all right, baby. We're going to be all right, baby. We're going to be all right, baby. You hear me, baby? All right. Professor says, talk Lattimore. Y'all want me to do all of them today, huh? Oh, man. I don't know if I can do Lattimore right now, Professor. Yeah, laddie, daddy. You got to slow it down. You see? Yeah. You know, you got to get like nonchalant, really nonchalant. When you do Lattimore, you gotta change it all up. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my boy. Oh man, yeah. It's gonna be all right, you know. Yeah, that's God. I'm glad at that. Everything is slow and smooth. Lattimore, boy, he is cool as the other side of the pillow, baby. All right, shout out to the fam, man. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all, man, for being here. Trey said that's his favorite one. Yeah, I know, Eugene. Thank you for saying that, bro. Eugene said I'm giving a comedic reprieve right now. Yeah, I got to, bro, because I understand, a lot of the who that's down. But listen, y'all, listen, family, we don't have nothing to be upset about. I didn't like Eric Wilson and I thought Zach Bowen and Traquan Smith earned their way off the roster. But at the end of the day, from a starter's perspective, the Saints are still very solid. They are a Super Bowl contending team. I don't get away from that. And still, to a degree, things could still fall because some of these players we're talking about could ultimately end up on the practice squad if we're fortunate enough to clear waivers. So in the end, we might not end up losing as much as we think we're losing right now, depending on if anybody else seen what we seen from these players that we didn't want to see cut, you see? So it's still a fortunate situation that they end up with us anyway. So we just have to wait and see how that ferrets out. But I also do think that ultimately that the Saints do add more talent here as well once everything cleared through free agency and who they claim they might get another offensive lineman to help improve some stuff as well. So hell, there might be a defensive back there, family, that can fall there that shouldn't be there, that somebody might release that could fall in your way. Because I hadn't totally looked at everybody's roster cuts, but I'm pretty sure that's every year there's some guys out there that can help the team. So we'll see how hopefully the Saints don't bring no more Marcus Willoughbys on the practice squad. Hopefully it's guys that we can use if somebody falls and gets hurt. All right. So yeah. So overall, this is the overall perspective. Even Chauncey's gone, the Saints still a Super Bowl contender. That's how deep we are. Chauncey helps, but with Chauncey not there, the Saints are still a Super Bowl contender. They still got several players that can play the slot. They might not play it as good as Chauncey did, right away, but they'll be good enough and they'll grow into the role. Alontae Taylor is your man. Whether he starts now or in the near future, he's going to be the guy. And Alontae Taylor, family, listen, Alontae Taylor is serious business. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people upset about it because, listen, I'm going to just say it like this. Chauncey's the past. Alontae Taylor is the future. Let's just get it straight. That's the bottom line. Chauncey's the past. Alontae is the future. And Alontae Taylor, man, Alontae Taylor's the truth, bro. He's the truth. I don't know if you guys remember what he was playing in the mini camps leading up to that and how he was performing. Alontae Taylor is serious business, fam. He's serious business. So, can't wait to see him out there in full time picking up the system and making plays. Man, this listen, let me tell you something. The Saints know what they're doing here. And as far as that goes, man. So we don't see it yet because we ain't seeing Alontae, but I'm telling you, man, y'all watch this, fam. Watch this in a little bit. All right, Logan was released. Okay, Jim Kev, I see, bro. They got quite a few people out there. Who knows what the Saints will be looking at, man? So we'll see. Fred said, yeah, that's right this year and next year. King Will, what's up, bro? Says, I appreciate you doing what you're doing, Big Q. But although I was a little saddened about the trade, I was never worried. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Slim, Justin Evans too can help out there. Yeah, King Will, bro. Yeah, man, I hear you, bro. Because for the family member saying, man, Q, we could have got more for him, And I'm pretty sure if the Saints would have moved a little earlier, like it seemed like they was working with a compressed time frame to me. The trade smells a little bit desperate to me. That's just me. From an instinctual standpoint, did anybody get into that? But I was thinking maybe if they decided a certain cutoff date for it not to happen, that's like, well, listen, we got to get on and do our thing. And then they probably would have had some people that were willing to give some money up to get them, what have you. But we'll see. We'll see how Alontae Taylor looks like that. But regardless or not, that guy gone, bro, and that's history now, fam. We just adding it to the show's archives is something we're covering. But that guy gone become, bro. Eugene says CJ trade moved the Saints from a 10-12 win team to a 10-12 to a 10-12 team. 985 says they had Justin Evans as the slot on the depth chart today. I seen that unofficially. I seen that depth chart where he was in there. Matter of fact, I showed that depth chart, bro, early in the show. So thank you for dropping that, showing that. Devin says, I like Alontae Taylor more than Roby in the slot. Yeah, I agree because of his size, his quickness, his hit ability. So my thing is he healthy? And we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if he will be ready to go for the Atlanta game. But the Saints have been taking a cautious approach with him, similar to with James Hurst. So if you kind of look at that logic, you might think, okay, they should be ready for the Atlanta matchup. So we'll see. We see. We got depth. So the bottom line is, are we deep? to absorb it, yeah, we deep enough to be able to kind of add that thing and keep on rolling with it. So it's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy. All right, OG said, my dad said the best of players you see on the Saints roster won't be there this upcoming season. And he was right, 2 of them, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Humphrey. Who's Humphrey? Oh, OG. All right. Yeah, a professor says he agree about Taylor. Yeah, go study some tape if you haven't seen Alontae Taylor. If you having questions about Alontae Taylor, go back over the mini camps, the mini camps and going into it before he got banged up. Go look at that footage of Alontae Taylor and how good he looks. Even go back to his college film and watch Alontae Taylor. The Saints didn't choose wrong on Alontae. Trust me, they didn't. All right. He's a big defensive back with speed and he loves to hit. I mean, hey man, he's a good, really solid tackler too. He'll knock your block off. So man, it's good to have a guy in the nickel that can do that. That's a physical cornerback. And also remember, family, you still got Coach Richard operating there. So he gonna get him up to speed. All right. Let's keep it going. Bobby says left tackle hasn't been addressed yet. Everyone else has either an upgrade or same play level. I think the Saints are just looking, possibly adding maybe a depth piece, maybe perhaps another piece, because I know they got the 3 backup offensive linemen as it stand right now in Landon Young, Kelvin Throckmorton, and Lewis Kidd. So I'll be thinking, man, you got to have somebody else there. So they might add somebody there via. We'll see in the next couple of days what it looks like there. But I don't think anybody in a starter capacity at left tackle. Hurst is going to be your left tackle, like it or lump it, bro. He's going to be the left tackle for the Saints. Like it or lump it. I know. All right, Elliot, what's up, fam? Alontae didn't show me nothing. I don't see how all of a sudden everyone is so big on him at this time. I liked him out of the draft as a safety, but not over C.D. Deuce as a nigga corner. So stop. Bro, you better go study some tape, Elliot. Better go study some tape on him. And you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to remember that comment when Alontae Taylor started kicking ass in the season. And you say, I'm going to say, Elliot, remember when Elliot got up here? And because I'm petty like that. Tell him, Tasha, I'm petty like that. I remember that shit, man. I said, well, you remember when Elliot Love got up here and said that, oh, I don't know what such and such, would know that Alontae Taylor is not CD Deuce, so stop it. I'm saying, oh yeah, I remember Elliot Love. Yeah, I'm gonna remember you and call your ass out on here. Because like I said, Alontae Taylor, go study the film if you don't know about him. I'm telling you, off top, Alontae Taylor is a good young defensive back. He ain't Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Nobody's saying that he's Johnson. It took Chauncey Gardner-Johnson 4 years to become Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to get there. Alontae Taylor, give him some time to be able to get his stuff together. The Saints didn't choose wrong on Alontae Taylor, Elliot. They didn't, bro. They didn't. And if you don't know about Alontae Taylor, go look him up. I'm telling you, I did the homework on Alontae Taylor. He's a good young defensive back. He's not Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Very few are, but it took Chauncey some years to refine his game and give Alontae Taylor an opportunity to see what he can do. But hey, I will remember that comment, though. I'm gonna remember that, Elliot. So y'all up here saying this stuff, y'all be careful, because I remember shit. And I would say, y'all remember when such and such stuff? Because I remember, I'm gonna call your ass out, man. I'm petty. All right, so listen, man. Yeah, Tasha say, yeah, okay, there you go, Elliot. All right. Hey, bro, I love it that you here, bro. I love you, bro. You my brother. I appreciate you chiming in, but I got to pick at you, bro. You're a brother you're one of the family members in the Great Saint Think Tank. And we don't all agree all the time, but we still got love and respect for each other. But I'm just telling you, bro, from what I study, I'm gonna keep it real deal. I ain't gonna blow no smoke. Y'all know that. I don't play with y'all like that. I'm gonna keep it real. That's how the platform is built. If you on here talking to Big Q, he gonna keep it real deal, Holyfield. That's what I say. So, but what I'm saying is I had the chance to look up Alontae Taylor, and I'm gonna tell you what's up, Elliot. I wasn't an Alontae Taylor guy, bro. What really got me on Alontae Taylor, because it was the other guy, what's his name, family? Brisker, Jaquan Brisker, who was the safety that I was like, man, the Saints got to get this dude. And the Saints was aiming at Brisker, and he got picked up, I think, by the Raiders. It was somebody that picked him up right before the Saints picked Alontae Taylor. The Saints was going to draft that guy. They was going to draft him. And then when that happened, the Saints picked Alontae Taylor. And I went back and did a scouting report look and say, hold on. This guy was chosen to go between rounds 3 and 4, and the Saints took him in the second? What's this all about? And when I did that, I said, this guy, you took him too high. And that's when I started doing the research, started looking at the film and checking them out. I was like, oh, okay. That's when I started realizing that what the Saints was doing right here. And then the Saints was like, okay, they kind of blurred the lines and say he's a defensive back. We want you, what is he going to be, a safety or a cornerback, right? But they kept saying safety, right? Because Dennis Allen didn't want to tip his cards right then. He kept saying that we going to use him as a safety because he was being careful not to say cornerback, because there's only one place he going to go if it's a cornerback, and that's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So if you go back and listen, bro, we covered this early on. That's what was going on. He referred to him. He started saying safety. Then he started using saying that he's a defensive back. You see? So, but when that's what got me going, look at Alontae Taylor and doing the research. And then when the rookie mini camps came, bro, you got to respect the player who's a second round draft pick. All of the other draft picks are signed. Alontae Taylor took weeks before he was signed, and he was performing at the rookie mini camps without a contract. So he could have got hurt and not, you know what I'm saying? It kind of drew away his leverage to a degree, but he went to the rookie mini camps. He balled out. Remember Dennis Allen kept saying, Alontae Taylor's got my eye. Remember all of that? Bro, we covered all that. When I was looking at Alontae's tape in college, his tape with the Saints and how he was playing, man, bro, he's not Chauncey Gardner-Johnson now, but Alontae Taylor, very few are Chauncey, because Chauncey's a really good cornerback. But the thing is, Alontae Taylor has potential. Not only that, but he's going to really do a good job for you in the Saints in the nickel position, along with Chris Richard working with him. Bro, he got great speed, bro. He got great size. He's physical. Bro, he's passionate. Bro, you're gonna love Alontae Taylor, bro, for real. You're gonna see. I wasn't even that guy, bro. I got on that. That's how I got on him. The Bears got him. Yeah, there you go. I said the Raiders. It was the Bears that was ahead of him. The Saints was looking at Brisker. I mean, they wanted Brisker, but then the Bears took him, and then that's when they went to Alontae Taylor, and I thought the Saints reached for him, according to several of the scouters, was saying that he was a 3rd or 4th round cornerback, and for the Saints to snatch him there, they were saying, oh, they took him too high. But the Saints knew, and listen, Coach Richard had to be involved in that some kind of way to know who that guy was. And plus, he came from the University of Tennessee. You also knew, even though you had Cody Burns, who was the wide receiver coach there, that Cody Burns knew people there that he could communicate from the defensive side to get that real deal information on Alontae Taylor. And like I said, bro, I think Alontae gonna do a good job for you, bro. Watch and see. Watch and see. Alontae Taylor's gonna do a good job. All right. So anyway, JT says the DC love big secondary guys that can hit. And he says the DC, love big secondary guys that can hit and run. Remember that Seattle secondary, that's indeed big cornerbacks that can hit. And bro, listen, Alontae Taylor he's a really good, not only a really good tackler, but a fierce tackler. He's physical. He won't let you push him on out the way. The dude, and then another thing about Alontae Taylor, he's a leader, and has a really high football IQ, picks up things real quick. So like I said, the Saints know what they're doing with Alontae Taylor. I wasn't convinced at first until I did my homework, but it was a solid pickup out of Black and Gold, just keeping it real. I know I went a little extended on that rant, but I'm just trying to make you see where I'm coming from on that end. Well, I don't know, Derek, if he really he related to Sean Taylor. I don't know very few are, but I think he's solid, man. He's solid. All right. Cool Man says I'm in my feelings too. Taylor do look fast, but I just think CD brought that swag. He did, bro. He had a lot of swag. He did. And he did, you know, and but like I said, the Saints ain't, even with Chauncey going, the Saints ain't lacking for swag on defense. They ain't lacking for passion. We got an overabundance of all those things in the Saints secondary room and on defense, period. We are all swagged out. We got enough swag to donate to other teams. So we got enough passion to donate to other teams. But Chauncey was a passionate guy. He had a lot of swag and he would talk a lot. Alante Taylor ain't gonna do all that talking. I'm gonna just be honest with you. He ain't gonna talk. His talking gonna be on the field. So he ain't gonna be doing the joint that a guy like Chauncey does to get people to punch him in the face. But give him a chance, fam. What's up, Be Cool, Cam Legit? Much love, fam. Who that to you? Who that 504 says our new receivers coach said Taylor was public enemy #1 on the field. Do the dog, give him time. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, chime in, fam. Throw some kind of fortify his point there. Elliot says CD Deuce was acting funny since the Saints picked up Tyron. He was acting funny since the Saints drafted Alante Taylor. Elliot. Yeah, he was acting funny. And like I said, I played that interview when he was ranting to the team. He had that Snuggie on and he was sitting there talking about they call him the #1 problem, or he a problem child, or whatever he was saying. He was just saying, just talking. I'm like, and I remember I told him, listen, bro, stop worrying about what other people stop trying to get these media types to validate you. You know, validate yourself, man. Validate yourself. Don't look for validation from these other folk out here, because most of them people can't validate a dog. They can't validate a dog. And you looking for validation from them people. Let your game speak for itself. And he would have got paid even if it wasn't with the Saints. I don't think his future relied on the Saints, because they wouldn't have took Alante Taylor if they felt like that. You know, so I knew eventually he would be gone, but when he was ranting and raving, he was in his feelings then. Then later on, he said he backed out. He didn't want to come to camp. Then he came to camp and was limiting his own reps. And the Saints still didn't say, nah, you can't do that. No, the Saints were still cool with him, you know? And then they even opened up negotiations. Now, the Saints could have took a hardball stance. I'm just keeping it a buck. The Saints could have took a hardball stance and said, nah, bro, you still under contract. You get your ass in this camp. You handle your business before we start hitting you with them fines. You understand? They ain't do that. The Saints said, nah, we told you we not renegotiating with you right now. We told you when the season ended, right before the season ended, we'll talk to you, or whenever we get to it, we'll get to it. We got some business we handle. No, but he forced them to the table, and that's what happened. That was their answer. They traded him out of here. They ain't paying him. They tried to give him, they said, listen, we $4 million apart. You know, I can give you this. Then they said, no, you guys to go. So like I said, remember this. Remember how this played out. Don't forget that they forced the Saints, the Chauncey forced the Saints to the table, and at the end of the day, they traded them out of here. Remember that. And I said it, man. I said, man, then you gonna either honor that, because they expected you to honor your contract and play it out. You know? You don't see Eric McCoy sitting up in there trying to say, listen, I ain't playing the center position until you guys start talking about my contract. You get me? He said, well, Chauncey had a point. Nah, Chauncey, he can do whatever he want to do, but that isn't Eric Wilson under the same situation. Eric Wilson contract come up at the end of the year too. Why Eric McCoy. Why Eric McCoy is not doing that? Why McCoy not saying, well, we got 1 year left. Y'all need to handle my contract. Why McCoy not doing that? Huh? You see? It's ways you handle shit. And the Saints say, man, we're going to get you up out of here, bro. You know? And like I said, they was looking all around Chauncey, listening to him, this rap stuff that he was doing and the talking that he was doing, like to the reporters. They remember all that, man. Don't think for a second they don't, bro. The people keep files and they got long memories, man. I'm telling y'all. Nola Ball says, Big Q, did you see Callaway becoming the offensive handshake coordinator? I seen him dapping off. I didn't know he was trying to take on the offensive. That's PJ is the handshake coordinator. Maybe Callaway is trying to be the assistant to the handshake coordinator. He's the assistant handshake coordinator. PJ is the handshake coordinator. PJ is the man. And maybe Marquez Callaway is trying to be the assistant handshake coordinator. Jacob says, like you said, he forced his hands at the table. At least we got something out of him. He wasn't willing to honor the contract. That's facts. This business, family. Eric McCoy in the same situation as as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He got 1 year left on his contract. Why McCoy ain't bucking like that? You see? And watch McCoy get his money while Chauncey got shipped out. But they going to get his money from the Eagles. But had he been cool, played his contract and honored it out, you know, you don't think the Saints would have coughed up that little bit of money at the end of the year when the money came up? Was this really about $4 million? Seriously. Was this really about $4 million? $4 million ain't nothing to the Saints, family. Y'all know that. Think about that shit for a second. When it's all said and done, y'all gonna think about what I'm saying about this stuff. Think about the fact that $4 million ain't really nothing to the Saints. They can shake and break that and make it happen. You know they can. Mickey Loomis, you know he can make it happen. $4 million ain't nothing for the Saints. Let's get that straight. That's number one. That's a sticking point. Bullet point one. When in the annals of history, when it's all said and done, the bullet point one is $4 million ain't really nothing to the Saints. Two, they sent them to the Eagles, who is in the NFC, who we got to play every year. We playing the Eagles damn near every year. So they're not scared to play against them, because if they was, they would have sent them to the AFC. So it's just these little points I keep seeing, you know, that keep kind of, wow, that's interesting. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting too. So, I mean, I'm just saying, man, that's how my mind works. I'll be like, man, laughing at this shit, you know? But yeah, the Saints had the leverage, bro. Chauncey didn't have the leverage. What's up, Adrian, baby? How you doing? All right, yeah, so Chauncey didn't have the leverage, family. He really didn't. But if he would have honored his contract, who knows how it would have ended up, bro. But hey, McCoy's still here. Now, I guarantee they're going to pay McCoy. Watch. Anyway, my dog says Deuce going to run to Rocky statue while training. Kevin Conley says, man, that's big BS, Big Q. Just work with the young fellas. The good outweigh the bad. All right. Elliot says it probably wasn't about the money. Hey, bro, you saying it. Howard Booster says CD has been chirping ever since his name came up in the Deshaun Watson trade scenario. Saints been trying to unload him for months now. How about that? That's an interesting standpoint right there, Howard Booster. Dropping a little facts on that thing. All right. My dog says Deuce gonna run to the Rocky statue out of anger while training. Okay. Chris says when you talk loud, they move you. There you go. And I was saying, man, listen, when they draft, I told DC this, and he can get on here and tell you. I said, DC, when Alontae Taylor is a quieter, slicker Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in terms of, you know, what he brings, they don't want to hear all that racket. They don't want to hear all that. You remember the Saints got a strong locker room, but they don't want, they don't play with you like that. The Saints they have a great culture there. And really, you don't hear too many people bitch and complain in the black and gold building, do you? Because the Saints are fair. They do give you your due. The Saints handle the business. And listen, even great players like Tyrann Mathieu, who could have got a lot more, the Saints paid him, you know, and he kind of bucked and got a little bit more, but he took a pretty good deal for himself and the team. And guys like Jarvis Landry, who 1 year, $6 million. Jarvis, if he really pressed, he could have probably got a little bit more. But and these are Pro Bowl, high-level, talented players that came home because they seen the potential in what the Saints had, and they wanted to contribute to another Super Bowl. Don't get it twisted. Landry and Tyrann Mathieu are here for Super Bowl. They're here for a Super Bowl. No doubt about it. Don't get it twisted. But yes, the Saints don't like that kind of behavior. I'm just keeping it a buck. And maybe that works in the Texan room or some of these other dysfunctional organizations. But when you start talking like that, the Saints would, and that's why I said they were honorable to even go and listen to them. They could have took a hardball stance and say, I ain't listening. No, we're not going to do that. We said no. They could have did that. But they went and talked to him, even tried to work out the money. But at the end of the day, they said, you know what? Let's just wash our hands of this. And what Dennis Allen told you, we did what was the best, and we did what was best for the interest of the team. Didn't he tell you that? And then say, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, that's it. All right. Shout out to you, Maul and Maul. He says, Q, you think Miss B didn't want Chauncey here eat? I don't know, bro. I think that old Southern Belle leaves all that in the hands of Dennis Allen. I think Mickey leaves that in the hands of Dennis. And remember, Dennis Allen was the defensive coordinator while Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was here. So he knows Chauncey Gardner. He even said in the interview that he loved Chauncey. You know, he loved him. I guess he ain't loved him enough to pay him. But at the end of the day, I understand what's going on and understand that in the interest of how the team looks in the future, that he wasn't a piece in that. And that they saying in a couple of years, Alontae Taylor could give you a similar value without all of the you see? Pelicans Nola, what's up, baby? Says Big Q, Philadelphia defense is not the same as the Saints. It's not. No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. We're not gonna say that. It's right. It's not the same. But CD will act as a safety in their defense. This is true. So it's kind of weird though how Malcolm Jenkins left the Eagles to come here and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson going there to play in the safety run. So yeah, so it's all right. Eugene said this CD slant I'm suddenly hearing from some Saints fans is disturbing. Come on, fan. That's Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys fan behavior. CD slander. No, they're not slandering them, Eugene. What you talking about? When the brother mentioned that he was chirping? He has been chirping. That's not slander to tell you to say the truth, bro. Bro, listen. Chauncey, I played Chauncey Gardner-Johnson complaining. I played him. I had 2 interviews that I played, and remember that? I actually broke it down with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Was complaining to the media, talking about they don't want to talk about contract extension. He told them people that. They meaning the Saints. Now that's something that you didn't need to have that type of discussion, is what I'm saying. That's not professional for you to be airing your laundry out to the media like that. That's not professional. The business is between you and the team. The media can't do a damn thing for you. They can't pay you. So why are you airing that out to them? I'm saying they listen to that. They hear that. They don't like that. They don't like that kind of behavior. And he ain't lying. He wasn't lying about what he said about that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was upset. That's why he held out. Did he not hold out? And then when he came back, he started restricting his play. Remember that? Man, that's all factual behavior, bro. Nobody's slandering that man. They're saying facts on facts because I sit here and cover that shit and watch them. They're not, bro, trust me, they're not slandering Chauncey's name. No, that's not. They're telling the truth. That's facts. You can actually go and find articles covering that. Or better yet, you can go back into the show's archives because I was talking about it. You know? Bro, they're not slandering. No, the Great Saint Think Tank, they ain't gonna act like that. They're gonna keep it real and they're gonna tell the truth. Now, some of these other people and outside the Who Dat Nation, some of these other guys, as soon as the guy go, they don't like him. And that's the same thing happened with Coach Payton. As soon as Coach Payton left, people don't like him. But he was here, they love him. I can't call for that. But as far as what I'm seeing, maybe somebody said something that I didn't see. But from what I'm seeing, what the people are saying, they are factual. They're 100% factual on that. That's not CD Deuce slander. He was bickering. He was upset. He was holding out. He was upset that, and it all happened when they drafted Alontae Taylor. Because he knew what time it was when they drafted. I knew what time. When they drafted Alontae Taylor, I said, the first thing I said, go back and listen to the draft special we did that day. I said, when they drafted, I said, where he gonna play at? And then I said, hold up. He ain't gonna, Marshawn got the money. He ain't gonna remove Paulson to Debo. Chauncey's in the slot, and they just added 2 safety. They brought in, well, later on they brought in that you had Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu, so he ain't going there. So where he gonna go at? You know, so he knew like we knew what time it was. The Saints provided leverage against him. So he really didn't have any leverage is what I'm saying. That's why he didn't get that deal. Now, hadn't the Saints not taken anybody, they were like, well, we kind of stuck with him now. We might as well give him that $4 million. Leverage is a lot in these deals, fam. Chauncey wasn't working with much leverage, you know, and the writing was on the wall. He seen it and he was very vocal about it. I'm telling you the real deal. So don't say that they were saying lies, bro, or whatever, because they're not. They're telling you the truth. All right, shout out. All right, William says, Big Q, the Saints can't pay everybody. Too many good young and veteran players in more important roles. Deuce role was expendable with the draft. He made it. Yeah, the Saints. That's the truth. It's business, family. Ahmad, what's up, bro? What you been up to, man? He said, I see it differently now that you said that, bro. But man, let a dog be a dog and feed him bone. You must have pit bulls or something, Ahmad, bro. Milestone says Matthew tweeted that this league is a job where youth start. Yeah, that's the cryptic tweet, right? Milestone profile. He tweeted, yeah, Tyron got the stuff. Tyron got the stuff, right? He got the news and sent out a cryptic tweet, which that hinted me. I said, something going on, man. What's happening? But I knew if I be patient that it'll reveal itself, and that's what it was about. He says the league is where youth starts over experiences, even though they're not better, probably because he thought he was not going to start over CD, but after the trade, Matthew tweeted, ha ha ha. Yeah, the cryptic tweet, yeah. And then deleted them. But like I said, man, we can't say that Alontae Taylor is going to be Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. No, Alontae Taylor is going to be Alontae Taylor. That's what I expect. I don't expect him to be Chauncey. I just expect him to do his job at the professional level of what the Who Dat Nation expects. That's all I can ask of the brother. You know, that's that in a nutshell. You know, Eugene said, "Now I'm talking about actual slander. I'm saying about outside. If the tank. Oh, hold on. Let me get this right. He says, nah, I'm talking about actual slander. I'm seeing about outside. If the think tank on Twitter and Facebook about his own field play, not more educated. Oh, I didn't know, bro. So you didn't differentiate that. Well, I would draw what I said then to you, because I thought you was talking about in this chat right now. I didn't see any negative commentary about Chauncey. You probably in those spaces or whatever. I hadn't paid attention to that. I see what's going on here. So then, yeah, I would draw that to you, bro. Yeah, I would draw that from you, sir. All right. Mocha says, man, I got to hear what I said. Yeah, Underhill. Yeah, Underhill pretty reserved, man. He gonna tell you some stuff. James says, Q, I just feel like they did not get proper compensation. He far outplayed his fourth round value. I think we suspect at linebacker as well. They could have traded for that. Letting Wilson go, keeping Bond is crazy. Yeah, if you think that's crazy, how about cutting Kurt Merritt and keeping Traquan Smith? That's probably the most ridiculous thing that you could possibly think of. You know, Zach Bowen, that to me, those two things were the things that I didn't like. Everything else was fine. You know, I understand the Chauncey Gardner thing. Everything else was fine. The two things that I didn't like was the fact that Zach Bowen was kept on the team as opposed to Eric Wilson, when Eric Wilson farly outplayed him, was a perfect fit in the Saints defense. Don't get that. Maybe he clears waivers and they add him to the practice squad. Still is a messed up place because he don't need to be on the practice squad. He good enough to be on the active roster. You put Traquan Smith on the practice squad because he damn sure need to practice. And you put Zach Bowen on the practice squad. They need practice too. You know, so yeah, those were two ones I just didn't like. Everything else I'm cool with. All right. Yeah. All right, Josh said the fact that they only went for a fifth and sixth shows where the market was formed. You might have a part on that, Josh. You might have a point on that, bro. He said the fact they only went for fifth and sixth shows where the market was formed. Well, like I said, you might have a point on that, but then again, how about this? Just as me and you, this is a great Saint think tank after all, right? Let's maul this about, and I threw this out there earlier to the family members to think about, to chew on. How about the fact that the Saints had a compressed timeline? They had to do something with him. And had they have done it 2 days earlier, maybe had a line where they're going to say, listen, we're going to negotiate up to this line, and then we was going to move on. It felt like that the Saints were kind of, you know, I use the word desperate, but maybe I'm saying they were hastened to move him because of the time restraints. You see what I'm saying? Because and another point of mention to make word of is the fact that they didn't trade him for a player. So you trade him out there and get picks back, you open up a spot. You know, there's no player coming back is what I'm saying. So there's a spot, a hole, or a roster spot created by him being traded out. So in which Sorensen, Daniel Sorensen made the team. But, you know, what I'm saying is, like, are they operating up against a tight, compressed time frame? You know, maybe if they had a cutoff point of a couple of days ago, they would have had a little bit more room to be able to go around and see if they can find a better deal for him. You see? Because this all seems like you get a 5th round, 6th round pick for this guy and he can go start somewhere. Don't make sense to people that understand the value of players. This guy wasn't a backup player that just was barely seeing the field. You know what I'm saying? This was a guy that can start for you. You know, and most of the times in the NFL, you don't get 5th and 6th round draft picks for a starting level talent, and he's in his 4th year of play. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going against what you're saying. I think you have a point. I'm just adding that into the discussion as well for us. It's such something to think about. Yeah, B-Mac, you ain't know that, bro? You didn't know you cut Eric Wilson? And yeah, well, you probably have to look at that. We cut Eric Wilson too? Yes, and you cut Kirk Merritt, but guess who you kept? You got Traquan Smith on your team. Yay! You also got Zach Bourne on your team. Yay! Oh, yeah. It's all good, bro. That's all good. Yeah, I know. You're right, Eugene. Mickey might lose his cool there, too. Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to worry about it. I just say talk to Dennis.
Yeah, Sorensen special teams move. Yeah, I can give it you on that. Sorensen. Barbara. Barbara had flamed him right quick. Barbara said Sorensen. God damn, Barbara. Don't let me make you mad, okay? Okay, god damn. That's Sorensen. God damn. All right, James, I have a question for you. Why they have a cake all players from us? Say that again, Jamie. Run that back. I don't understand your question, bro. He says, I have a question for you. Why they have a cake all players from us? Run that question back, Jamie. And I don't understand your question, bro. All right. Cool, man. What's up, bro? Says, thank you, bro. Kind of calmed me down. Bro, I got to get on here and make y'all laugh, man, and make y'all think and laugh, bro. That's what the Great Saint Think Tank, the Sports Coma, is about. Is we have a good time here. We talk about the team we love. We have a good time, you know, and I know it was a bit tenuous because a lot of people like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and had attachments to him. So, you know, I often think that the medicine a lot of times for these tense situations is a little levity. So, you know, I'll bring a little levity and I'll troll a little bit too, as y'all know, you know, and I'm a part comedian and everything else. So I throw a little that in there too. It's just me being me, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all, man, for just putting up with me. Thank y'all for putting up with me, baby. How about that? Baby, thank you for putting up with me, baby. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Baby, thank you. All right. James says, I'm with you on the Quan. He got the Kevin White syndrome. We can't get... Bro, what's up, man? We took injuries, bro. It took an injury to get Kevin White off this team, bro. Y'all realize that? It took an injury to get Kevin White off this team. You know? And then Traquan Smith can drop balls and drop touchdowns in the end zone, you know, and still make the team, bro. How do you explain that to people? As a coach, you look like a hypocrite. As a coach, you look hypocritical when you're preaching to, and the media asks the questions, what does players got to do to make the team? Well, the coaches, what they got to do, they got to come. Well, listen, like I said, guys got to come out and they just got to perform. Guys got to just come out here and they got to perform. Guys as a wide receiver, got to learn how to block and run routes. You got to catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? If we put them in the special teams game and use them as a kick returner, you got to be able to kick return, punt return. And then if we called on the block, you got to block. If we want to use you as a running back, you got to be able to effective to be used as a running back. You got to know the play. You got to have an impact on the field of play. You got to do what you got to do. So when we bring you out here, now if you're a linebacker, you got to obviously make tackles. You got to also know how to read defenses and do what you got to do out there on the field. And we're looking to see how your field is, if you're comfortable out there on the field. We got to understand that, you see. That's one of the things we have to understand. You get out there, you have to be comfortable on the field. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Dennis, bucking your eyes and shit. But the thing is, once you said all of that, and then you go out there and keep Zach Bourne and Traquan Smith, all that, you look like a straight hypocrite. Because it's like, man, why we did all of that? What we did all that for if you was going to just keep that man, bro? That man didn't do a damn thing. And yeah, you see? So that's what I'm saying, man. That type of shit is just, I don't get it. that you look hypocritical because you've been telling them reporters that and the Who Dat Nation that for the last several weeks of what it takes for people to make the team. So I asked the question and I would literally say it. I would run that back and I would say, well, you said such and such, such and such. And then all they would then say, because I know what they're going to say. They're going, well, you see, the cuts are tough. We have to make the tough. Then his same energy that he had when he was telling you how to make the team after cut week. Well, you see, cut week's hard. And, it's a hard thing. It's hard because you gather relationships with guys, and the guys, they go out and they really work hard. They work hard. And they do what they're supposed to do. And it's up to you to, to tell them, go to them individually and says, listen, appreciate your contribution, but you're not a member of this team. Now, perhaps if you clear waivers, there may be, I'm not going to promise you anything, but there may be a practice squad spot with your name on it. Okay. Would you be interested in that? Well, coach, let me tell you something, man. I came here from Minnesota. I picked up the offense right fluidly. You had an issue at the linebacker position. I picked it up. I did everything. I outperformed all the linebackers combined. That's not Demario Davis. And for the life of me, I'm having a problem understanding how did I not get the job? Well, that's a great question. Do you play chess? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy you a chess set. Okay. It'll be a Saints check set. Would you like that? Would you, it'll be, something. Coach, listen, I understand. I appreciate you wanting to send me a chess set. Listen, I don't want no chess set. I just want the answer on why you cut me over the rest of these guys. Oh, well, okay. You're going to hold me to that. Okay. Well, as I've said, cut week is tough. And well, listen, boy, look at that time there. I got 5 other guys I got to talk to. Listen, I hope there's some orange juice over there and some cookies over there, right there in the next room over there, and the bathroom's up the hall. Oh, you already know what the bathroom is? Look, listen, you guys don't have to leave right away. Just turn in your credentials. You got 2 hours, and they got some cookies and some refreshments back over there. Oh, you don't eat cookies? Okay, you can go up to the cafeteria. They got some tofu burgers waiting for you. You can go ahead and get you some stuff. Look at the time. I got to go and talk to 10 other guys. But you know what? You have a good career. And listen, if there's a spot for you, I'll make sure I hold it for you on the practice squad. There's no justification. What you going to say? That's what you're going to do. Oh, man, look at the time. Oh, man, I got 10 other guys I got to tell I got to cut. There is no justification for that. You, sir, are a hypocrite by if you telling people everything I told them. People in the whole Great Saint think tank know that's how you make the team, by outperforming the other guy ahead of you. So when you see an obvious crime like that, you can't say nothing but, hey, bro, what's that about? Thank you, Jason Slayer. Thank you, bro. Shout out to you for hitting that subscribe button. Much. I'm just telling, this is how I feel on the inside. I'm like, man, because I know, I know about football. So I understand based on what the coach is saying, how you make the team. Dennis Allen told us several times, so when you do what he says and then you don't make the team, then you say the guy ahead of me must have did a better job, right? But when you look at the guy, you know that the guy didn't do a better job. What is the justification? Are you hurt? Do you make too much money? He's not hurt and he don't make that much money. So it's all ridiculous. That's bottom line. It's a bad cut is when it comes down to it. Those shouldn't happen. Tasha, thank you, baby. Says Q, you have mimicked Dennis Allen strut yet. Oh no, my goodness. I said when I was at the stadium, I seen Dennis Allen walking around. I said, boy, Dennis Allen walking around like them shoes made of clouds. Boy, that boy floating out there. Boy, that boy floating. He got his shoes made of clouds, man. Dennis walking around there just floating across the he just Boy, I said, look at Dennis getting it, man. That boy's shoes made of clouds, boy. That boy just floating on over there. Yeah, I can't get that strut. I'm going to leave that alone right there. I'm going to leave that strut alone, man. You can have that. All right, Applied Pressure said, yes, Huntsbury Traquan is on the team. We paid coaches. Yes, there's no justification for Traquan Smith and Zach Bowen to be on this team, family. There's no justification with Eric Wilson and Kirk Merritt. The biggest crime is Kirk Merritt not making the active roster. How? He did everything right. He didn't fumble. He did it right. How? How? That's what I'm asking. How? Indeed. All right. All right. Uncle Paula said, I want to see how Dennis Allen handles adversity when he hits the team this season. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Brother Pat, shout out to you, bro. Thank you, Pat. Much love, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, Astra. That boy's shoes made of memory foam, boy. That boy's come out there. Y'all seen Dennis Allen, boy? Dennis Allen floating out there, boy. That boy floated out there on a. He just glides across the turf. Like, look at Dennis, man. Dennis just floating over there. That boy on a cloud, doing it. Milestone said they like Traquan's blocking and game experience, bro. Bro, no, bro. His game. We're gonna keep Traquan. I guess we gotta find some kind of reason, right, bro? We gotta find some kind of reason. Yeah, I guess so, bro. Yeah. Carla says he should be back sooner than later. DA loving his heads. Yeah, DA is definitely doing that, man. He definitely doing. He on the cloud, cloud 9. Yeah. So yeah, he was dragging the hell out that suitcase, man. Dennis Allen, man, boy. Yeah. But yeah. Uncle Paulie, you right, bro. I won't see how he handles that adversity too, bro. See how he handles it, bro. You know, and Dennis Allen is a cool customer at times, but he's a no nonsense man too. I noticed that about Dennis Allen. He's a no nonsense man. You know, he gets kind of see him getting upset when they be asking dumb questions. Sometimes I can see it's a part of the game, though. Brother Pat says, so happy to see Mark get his 22 back. Indeed, bro. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Mark Ingram, man. But yeah, family, listen, I'm going to get ready to bring the show to an end. Listen, I hope you guys had a fantastic time here, man. I know I did. Talking to the Who Dat Nation about this once again. You know, and I know pretty much a lot of people are not going to want to talk about it. I know Uncle OG wants to move on from it. OG saying, man, I'm done. I won't move on. I hear you, OG. I hear you, baby. Shout out to my brother Jerry. I know you ready to move on. Yeah, but see, we mentioned that today. We also talked about the cuttings. And listen, fam, like I said, I agree with the majority of the Saints cuttings. I understand the Saints trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm surprised that it happened earlier. I thought it'd be closer to the trade deadline, right around that area. I'm surprised by that part. I'm also surprised by the low compensation the Saints got back for him. Not the fact that they traded them, period. You get what I'm saying? So I understand the move. I also get the trade, you know, the 53-man roster, the cuts. I understand those. Sorensen made the team. As that was a long shot. I didn't think Sorensen would make the team. And also, the only other cuts I disagreed with was the cutting of like I said, Zach Bowen and Traquan Smith should have been cut, in my opinion. And I thought Eric Wilson should have been returned, and Kirk Merritt should have been retained as well. So I don't agree with those two movements, but the rest of them I can understand. And of course, Wednesday we'll see what goes on, family, to see what happens with the Saints, because of course we'll have the 16-man roster. We'll have that information for you tomorrow. If the Saints sign on anybody that they can help, we'll have more of, and this is still all very developing. So it's still a 16-man roster that's left, and some other things too. Maybe we'll get some information on the injury updates of some of these players, like Alontae Taylor, say where he is, maybe get some on him and as well. So a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff is still shaking here, and this has just been a busy day for the Who Dat Nation, and a lot to digest on cut day. So once again, I'd like to give a shout out, man, to the Great Saint Think Tank, the family members that are YouTube members and are Patreon champions. Because of them saying, yes, share this show with the rest of the family, this show probably wouldn't have seen all this great comedic stuff we're doing. Probably would have just been for the Patreon, but the family member was kind enough to say, yes, share it with the rest of the family members. So if you want to become a member of the Patreon, the link's in the description section below. Simply go to the link tree and scroll into the link tree. All the links are there, nice and organized, nice and pretty. Like merch, we have 3 merch shops that's there with dozens of merch products that support the platform, the theme music, all that's in the merch shops. Not to mention shirts, hats, all kind of stuff. And the website, thewhothatdaily.com. You can go there and subscribe and join the Great Saint Think Tank Facebook page. You can join our Instagram, our Twitter, and all that stuff is in the link tree, all nice and organized for you, baby. So with that being said, please feel free. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for Jason Slayer, who hit the subscribe button early on. And Wyetta Adams, shout out to our newest member of the Great Saint Think Tank. So with that being said, I'm going to check out on that. Listen, fam, y'all keep y'all heads up. Don't be too sad about this Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing. I know he's gone. And the Saints got Alontae Taylor and Justin Evans and PJ Williams. And we got a lot of depth there. So we still are a Super Bowl contending team. That's all that matters, is that we're still a Super Bowl contending team with one of the best rosters in the NFL. Top 5 club in my book. The Saints gonna still make it happen. And we still got some moves to make on the practice squad and other additions that'll happen once they clear this waivers. And we'll have some more clarity on this thing moving forward. So with that being said, I'm a hasta la vista. I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Who that to you?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform's store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue.